Today I'm in the Canine Museum of Victoria, and for me it's a trip down memory lane. I used to show English and Irish setters, and in front of me today is this beautiful Irish setter that was donated by one of the people I used to compete against, Keith McCarthy. I could tell you many tales about Keith and I running around the show ring. Today we're here to learn the history of man's best friend. Paul?
Gregory, just before I start, there's a call for you. I think it's Claudia.
Oh, the boss. Claudia? Oh yes, oh no, you're missing on something very special here today. Okay, I'll catch up with you this afternoon. Bye. Now Paul, we've got a stuffed dog here, and I know Napoleon had his dog stuffed, so what can you tell us the story about this one?
Well, this is a Basenji, and he's actually the best of breed winner at the Royal Melbourne Show in 1971. Came in as part of a bequest with a picture of the dog actually in the ring. The only problem with that is that I've been asked questions as to why would you take a stuffed dog into the ring, and I'm sorry, but I can't answer that.
No, I couldn't either.
No.
And what else have we got here?
Well, this is actually a Frenchie, but he's modelling a badger hair collar. In the early 1900s, 1920s, something like that, the horse and carriage guys that used to take people around, the taxi of the day, would have a Frenchie on board wearing one of these. And the story goes that it was either, the badger hair was either to keep the ears upright or to keep the fleas off the dog. Nobody actually knows why, but that's why there's a badger hair collar, and it's incredibly rare.
Unbelievably rare. We wouldn't normally see that in Australia, would we?
We wouldn't see it anywhere in England. There's a dog hair collar museum in the UK that doesn't have one of these. It's the one thing they've got missing. We're lucky we've got it.
Let's go and see what else you can show us. Now, Paul, tell us about Pugsley.
So Pugsley is the museum mascot. Before the museum was built, we used to hold auctions to raise money to build the museum. Pugsley was in one of those auctions. Unfortunately, he was in pieces. Ears missing, legs missing, tail broken. He was an absolute mess. So at the end of the night, he's still in pieces. Nobody wanted him.
No, poor Pugsley.
So we had him professionally restored, and he's now pride of place in the museum, and he's now Lucky Pugsley, our mascot.
And Pugsley, you're looking marvellous for an old man that was made in 1860. How do you do it? We're now here in the museum with the Royal Dalton collection, and Dalton were famous for their figurines, especially their dogs, and they managed to capture their characters beautifully. Here in the cabinet is my favourite breed, the English setter. But up here, look how they have interpreted the dog. It is marvellous. This little fella running away with the ball. This little fella playing in the backyard. This one up here, he's top of the kennel. He's just pinched the big bone from everyone else. And this fellow, he's on his last supper, he thinks, because all these little fellas are going to chase him for it. This is how Royal Dalton interpreted the dogs, and everyone fell in love with their interpretation of dogs. Now, Paul, tell us about this cabinet.
So one of the things that the museum does well is it looks after all of the trophies, that clubs that have folded for one reason or another, and preserves all of their beautiful trophies that they used to hand out as prizes. And this cabinet, which is dear to my heart because it's the Mastiff Club, has donated all of its beautiful bronzes to the museum so that they can be kept for posterity.
Tell us about this item.
Well, this is the other extreme. This poor battered thing is for the best colonial bred bulldog in 1904, found at the tip and rescued by one of our members and given to the museum to keep.
You never know what you're going to find anywhere, and let's face it, antiques are green. We're recycling the past and keeping it for the future.
We certainly are.
Thank you, Paul, for being with us today and inviting us to this museum. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's taken me down memory lane.
We're very glad you enjoyed it.